Something happened in my mind and I cannot reverse it. I wish I could explain it in a simple way, but the truth is uglier than that. Once you start to see certain things differently, your mind stops cooperating with the world as it used to. It's like a machine that suddenly refuses to process the same instruction it's been processing. Things that once felt normal now feel staged. Conversations that once flowed slowly now feel like staged rehearsals. I sit sometimes watching people speak with absolute confidence about things they've never investigated, and a strange pressure builds inside my head. Not anger, pressure, because my mind keeps asking questions that the room has no interest in answering. So I sit quietly, not because I'm confused, but because I can see exactly how fragile the room is. People protect their experience the way you protect the wound. Touch it, and the reaction is immediate. So most of the time, I say nothing, but the silence is not peaceful, it's heavy. Because once your mind starts recognizing patterns, it doesn't stop. You begin noticing the invisible architecture behind things that people think are natural. Beliefs, traditions, authority, the stories that shape exactly how an entire society thinks. And you realize something unsettling. Most of what people defend passionately has never been examined, never been deeply inspected. It has simply been inherited, repeated, protected, polished. And my mind refuses to leave it closed. That's the burden. Because once you start opening those boxes, you cannot pretend they were never opened. You start to see how easily human beings organize themselves around ideas that feel comfortable rather than ideas that are true. And that realization follows you everywhere, at the dinner table, in conversation with friends, inside institutions, even inside moments that ordinarily should feel simple. Your mind keep dissecting, analyzing, and connecting things most people don't even care about. And sometimes I wish it could stop because ignorance has a luxury that awareness doesn't, a luxury that awareness destroys. That luxury is rest. When you do not question deeply, life moves pretty smoothly. You agree, you repeat, but when your mind refuses that automatic agreement, everything becomes a lot of work. Every claim must be examined, every explanation must be tested, every system must be inspected. And that constant awareness creates an invisible tension inside of you. You begin to realize that the world is not as solid as it pretends to be, that many structures survive because nobody looks too deeply. Many authorities remain powerful because questioning them carried social risk. Many beliefs remain sacred because dismantling them would leave so many people emotionally broken. And once you notice that, something else irreversible happens. Your mind stops accepting shortcuts, even if those shortcuts will make your life easier, even when silence will make relationship smoother, even when agreements would restore comfort. But the mind already crossed the line and now it lives somewhere else, not above people, not outside the world, but in a place where explanation must survive examination. And that place is not comfortable. It's full of thorns and broken bottles. It's demanding. sometimes exhausting. But it is honest, and honesty has a strange side effect. It makes you responsible for what you know. Once you see clearly, you cannot pretend you didn't. Once you recognize patterns, you cannot unrecognize them. Once your mind breaks out of inherited thinking, you cannot force it back into obedience. So I carry that weight now, not proudly, not dramatically, just quietly. Because some form of awareness are not victories, they're responsibilities. Responsibility to think carefully, to speak carefully, to refuse convenient lies even when they would make life easier. And that strange thing is this: even though the weight is heavy, I'd rather face it, because the alternative would mean shrinking my mind back into the space it already outgrown. And some transformations cannot be undone. Once the mind begins to wake up, it stops accepting the world as it is presented. And that changes everything. Blessings to the awakened.